fighting there for the legacy, you know.
Yeah.
And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you
And
getting?
it's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden. That's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
Very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. The fight world is buzzing as the pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev, has seemingly issued a stern warning to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of their potential welterweight title showdown. In response, JDM has offered his own thoughts on the lightweight champion's move up to 170 pounds, questioning how Islam's size and style will translate to the new division. Della Maddalena hinted that he sees holes in Makhachev's striking game, particularly his predictable stance, and expressed a strong belief that his own boxing skills could exploit those openings should they meet inside the octagon.
I think he just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be right.
Yeah. You think he'll stick around at 170, or do you think it's just
I think he'll be one fight and then he'll probably have to go back down.
because of how it'll go?
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward, but I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think Islam's the very good shot. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
Moreover, Philip Rowe gave his
Furthermore, welterweight veteran Philip Rowe has chimed in with his analysis of a potential clash between Makhachev and Della Maddalena, and he is confidently siding with JDM. Rowe questioned if Islam possesses the natural frame and physicality for the welterweight division, arguing that JDM's knockout power combined with his proven ability to get back to his feet would simply be too much for the lightweight champion to handle. In fact, Rowe went as far as to predict a finish for Della Maddalena.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
However, Islam Makhachev has also spoken about the new welterweight champion, acknowledging that a fight with Jack Della Maddalena would be a formidable challenge. He gave credit to JDM for his significant improvements, specifically in his wrestling defense. Makhachev noted that while grappling was a clear issue for JDM early in his UFC tenure, he has clearly dedicated himself to training with elite grapplers. Islam recognized this evolution as the key reason JDM now holds the belt, and stated that we will all find out soon enough who the best fighter in the world truly is.
Fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He's good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
Very soon.
Meanwhile, featherweight champion Ilia Topuria was initially very dismissive when asked about the Makhachev versus Della Maddalena superfight, stating plainly that it's a matchup he doesn't care about or give any thought to.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
However, he later offered advice.
Despite his initial disinterest, Topuria later gave some pointed strategic advice for Jack Della Maddalena. He suggested that attacking the body with straight shots would be the essential key to victory. According to Topuria, punishing the body is the most effective way to neutralize a wrestler's intent to shoot for takedowns. And he also praised JDM's overall striking acumen and fighting style.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at striking. I like how he fights.
For Islam Makhachev, this move up in weight is about more than just another title. It's about legacy. He has openly expressed his desire to fight at the legendary Madison Square Garden, a venue he feels is reserved for fighters competing for their place in history, not just for a paycheck. He views a potential double championship victory at MSG as the fulfillment of a dream that would cement his status as an all-time great.
I asked Dana if there's some opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden. It will be honor for me, you know, fight in the biggest arena for MMA and boxing, like it's for legendary arena, you know, and I will be happy to have the opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you deserve it at least one time, Islam. I know this has been a dream. You said this before. And they have other champions they can fight in Abu Dhabi. They have Magomed Ankalaev now, so this is your chance.
Yeah. This is my chance, and I want, you know, I know some of the fighters, boxing fighter, they're not fighting in Madison Square Garden for the money or just for the victory. They just fighting there for the legacy, you know. Yeah. And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you getting?
It's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden.
But the path to welterweight hasn't been entirely smooth. Makhachev recently admitted that gaining the weight has been a surprisingly difficult process. After a career spent meticulously cutting down, he says his body has been resistant to adding size. Despite a rigorous lifting program, he's only managed to add a couple of kilograms and emphasized his desire to build functional muscle through hard training rather than just gaining weight through eating more.
To be big, you know, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, you know. I try to lift more. We do some program and slowly we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with muscles, you know. I want to training and bring some muscle.
Former title challenger Charles Oliveira views Jack Della Maddalena as a methodical and dangerous striker who excels at breaking opponents down. He believes Islam Makhachev will undoubtedly benefit from the added strength at welterweight and will lean heavily on his world-class grappling. For Oliveira, the fight's outcome will be determined by a simple question. Can JDM keep the fight standing, or will Islam impose his will on the ground?
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
O Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é outra.
Looking at the physical challenges, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson discussed the potential hurdles Islam Makhachev might face at 170 pounds. He noted that while Islam is a strong individual, many welterweights are significantly larger, with some cutting down from over 205 pounds. Thompson believes this size and strength discrepancy could create new problems for Makhachev, even if JDM isn't a much taller opponent. While Wonderboy praised Islam's grappling, he also pointed out that JDM has already been tested against elite wrestlers like Belal Muhammad, calling it a tough fight that he hopes the UFC makes official soon.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I've faced would walk around at that weight. I think the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Belal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Adding fuel to the fire, manager Ali Abdelaziz has seemingly confirmed that Islam Makhachev will indeed fight for the full welterweight title this year. He stated that Jack Della Maddalena is the target. But if the champion is unable to compete for any reason, the UFC is prepared to have Islam fight a new opponent for a vacant belt. Abdelaziz clarified that Dana White and Hunter Campbell have greenlit this plan, making Islam's title shot contingent only on JDM's availability.
When will it happen, Islam and Jack?
Islam fighting for the title this year. The non-interim title, a title. Jack Maddalena is the champion, but if Jack is not available, it will be someone else fighting Islam for the title. That's what the UFC told me. That's what Dana told me. That's what Hunter said. Everybody said, and that was one of the stipulations. If Islam go up, Jack get injured, and I hope he's healthy, and he seemed like he's healthy, this title will be vacated and Islam will fight for welterweight.
Prominent analyst Luca Thomas commended Jack Della Maddalena's striking in his last outing, but also highlighted some flaws in his defense. Thomas warned that JDM's risky takedown attempts could be exploited by a fighter as clinical and composed as Islam Makhachev. He suggested that those defensive lapses could be exposed in a high-stakes championship fight against someone who rarely makes mistakes.
The striking prowess of JDM, if he could just have enough time to get it going, would be enough. I think Muhammad somewhat overperformed relative to expectations, but in the end, JDM was better. But the defensive lapses, to me, I know we have to focus on like how good JDM is as a striker, but what could have cost him here was the incompleteness of his defense. And to me, he took a quantum leap forward today in showing how good that was. Now, again, trying to turn that defense into offense by trying to go for some of those ill-advised takedowns, especially in the fifth, and then you're getting kind of lateral dropped for it. You do that against Islam, and I think that's a huge mistake. Islam just doesn't make a lot of mistakes, right? He doesn't necessarily have, at times, always the flashiest offense. I mean, he does have very good offense. We're talking about the pound-for-pound #1 guy in the sport. But what really defines him is that he makes very, very good decisions. Islam up at 170 to me is exciting. I know what everyone's going to say. Oh my God, the best fight you could have made in MMA was Ilya versus Islam. I'm not denying it. I'm not in any way asking you to feel differently about what was the best fight that could be made. But here's what I am trying to tell you. Islam up at 170 could be something really special. It could fizzle too, but I'm trying to point out the positives. It could be really special. For him to become a double champ could be a very big deal.
That's all for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this potential mega fight? Share your predictions and analysis in the comments section below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoyed the breakdown. Also, check out our other videos on your screen right now. We'll see you next time.